Most people think fruit is always a healthy choice, but if you're over 60, some of these popular fruits could be silently weakening your legs, draining your energy, and even increasing your risk of dangerous falls. Surprising, right? You may be eating them daily without realizing the long-term effects. Stick with me, because knowing which fruits to cut back on could help you stay stronger, steadier, and more independent than ever. If you care about staying mobile, strong, and independent after 60, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. At Healthy Wise Living, we share practical tips to help you thrive, not just survive. Now tell me, where in the world are you tuning in from? Drop it in the comments, and be honest. Have you felt a little off balance or unsteady lately? If so, type yes below so you know you're not alone. Hi, I am passionate about helping adults over 60 live healthier, more empowered lives. Every week here on Healthy Wise Living, I share real, science-backed advice that's tailored specifically to the unique needs of seniors. Because your body, your routine, and your goals deserve personalized care. I understand how overwhelming health advice can feel, especially with so many trends and myths out there. That's why my mission is simple: to cut through the confusion and give you practical, doable tips you can trust. Whether it's staying steady on your feet, keeping your memory sharp, or boosting your energy naturally, I've got you covered. So if you've ever felt like the world wasn't giving you the right tools for your stage of life, you're in the right place. I'm here to walk this journey with you, one smart health step at a time. After 60, your body begins to respond differently to the foods you've eaten for years, sometimes in ways that are easy to overlook until real problems show up. What once seemed like a healthy snack may now be quietly working against your strength, energy, and mobility. One of the most overlooked areas? Leg strength. Your legs are your foundation. They keep you stable, active, and independent. But as you get older, maintaining that strength becomes harder, and what you eat plays a much bigger role in this than most people realize. Many fruits are marketed as superfoods, loaded with vitamins and antioxidants. But here's the catch. Some fruits contain high amounts of natural sugar and acids, which can lead to blood sugar spikes, low-grade inflammation, and even nutrient imbalances that disrupt your muscles' ability to recover and stay strong. When that happens, you might start feeling small but significant changes, like struggling to climb stairs, getting winded faster than usual, or feeling unsteady when you stand up. Over time, this slow decline can increase your risk of falls, fractures, and loss of independence. And for seniors, even one fall can lead to serious consequences, including hospitalization or long-term rehab. What's even more surprising is that this decline often starts subtly, without pain or warning signs. One day your legs just don't feel as stable, and that's when the fear of falling sets in. It's not just physical, it's emotional. Feeling like you can't trust your own body can lead to reduced activity, which only makes things worse. That's why it's so important to understand how certain fruits, despite their reputation, might be silently contributing to muscle weakness, especially in your lower body. We're not saying fruit is bad. The truth is more nuanced. It's about knowing which fruits to enjoy in moderation, which ones to avoid if you're sensitive, and how to balance your choices in a way that supports, not sabotages, your strength. And the best part? Once you know what to look out for, these changes are entirely manageable. The right tweaks to your daily diet can help restore energy to your muscles, protect your balance, and give you back the confidence to move freely again. Stay with me, because up next, I'll reveal one fruit many seniors eat daily that may be throwing your entire muscle system off track. Before we dive into the full list, I want you to stick with me until the very end, because I'm going to uncover one fruit that's likely in your kitchen right now. It's sweet, it's popular, and it's often seen as a healthy staple for older adults. But here's the shocker. For many seniors, this fruit can actually interfere with your body's potassium levels, disrupt hydration, and even trigger painful muscle cramps in your legs, especially at night. It's something I see overlooked time and time again. If you've been struggling with leg discomfort or unexpected tightness, this one fruit might be playing a role. So don't miss it. It could be the key to unlocking more strength and fewer setbacks. Plus, knowing this could help you avoid one of the most frustrating issues older adults face: feeling unsteady and unsure on their feet. The 7 fruits seniors should limit or avoid. Fruit number 1, grapes. They may be bite-sized and delicious, but for seniors trying to maintain strong, stable legs, grapes might not be as harmless as they seem. Grapes are naturally high in sugar, specifically glucose and fructose, which are rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, While that quick sugar boost might feel energizing at first, it often leads to a crash in energy levels, and worse, it can contribute to inflammation in muscle tissue, especially in the legs and joints. Why does this matter more after 60? As we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar diminishes, particularly if we're already managing conditions like prediabetes, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes, which are increasingly common among older adults. When blood sugar levels spike, the body responds by releasing insulin, which in turn can promote fat storage and interfere with muscle recovery after everyday activity like walking or climbing stairs. But grapes aren't just about sugar. Their lack of fiber plays a role too. Fiber acts as a buffer, it slows digestion, prevents sugar spikes, and helps the body absorb nutrients more steadily. But grapes, especially seedless and peeled varieties, provide very little fiber in each serving. That means even a handful can act like a shot of sugar with minimal benefit to your muscles. You might be thinking, but aren't grapes full of antioxidants like resveratrol? That's true. Resveratrol, found mostly in red and purple grapes, has been linked to heart health and anti-aging benefits. However, here's the catch. You'd have to eat a large amount of grapes to see those benefits, and by that time the sugar load far outweighs the positives, especially for someone with age, muscle loss concerns. Another hidden issue? Portion control. Grapes are easy to overeat. Because they're small, most people don't realize they've eaten 2 or 3 servings in a single sitting. This mindless munching can flood your system with sugar, increasing systemic inflammation, which weakens your body's ability to repair and retain muscle tissue. If you're noticing leg fatigue, soreness, or slower recovery after walks or workouts, grapes might be playing a quiet but significant role. You don't need to ban them entirely, but portion size matters. Stick to half a cup. Pair them with a protein or healthy fat like Greek yogurt or almonds, and avoid dried grapes like raisins altogether, which have triple the sugar and none of the water content to help slow absorption. Fruit number 2, bananas. Overripe. Bananas are often seen as a go-to healthy snack, convenient, affordable, and rich in potassium. But for seniors, especially those over 60, overripe bananas may be quietly working against your leg strength, energy, and muscle control. As bananas ripen, their starches break down into simple sugars, primarily glucose, fructose, and sucrose. While these sugars can provide a quick energy boost, they can also lead to spikes in blood sugar, which then trigger insulin surges. For seniors dealing with insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, or prediabetes, these repeated surges can disrupt how your body fuels muscle cells, especially in the lower body, where muscle maintenance is most critical for balance and stability. But there's more to it. Overripe bananas have a higher glycemic index, meaning they digest faster and cause blood sugar levels to rise more quickly than their greener counterparts. This rapid increase can leave you feeling tired, shaky, or even lightheaded, symptoms that are often misattributed to aging, when in fact they could be food. You may think, isn't potassium in bananas good for muscles? Yes, but in moderation and in the right context. Excess potassium, especially if you're also taking certain medications like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or NSAIDs, can cause an imbalance known as hyperkalemia. This can lead to muscle weakness, cramps, or irregular heart rhythms, none of which support a stable, active lifestyle. Here's where it gets more complicated. Overripe bananas also produce histamines during the ripening process. Seniors who are sensitive to histamines may experience leg discomfort, water retention, or joint stiffness, especially if they're already dealing with low-grade inflammation or arthritis. And since overripe bananas are often softer and sweeter, they're more likely to be blended into smoothies or eaten quickly, resulting in larger portions and faster sugar absorption. Still not convinced? Think about your leg strength after a walk. Do your legs feel more tired than usual? Do you experience tightness in your calves at night? Have you had occasional foot cramps or balance issues that seem to come and go without explanation? If so, it might be time to check how ripe your bananas are, or how often you're eating them. Instead, opt for firmer, slightly green bananas, which have more resistant starch and less sugar. They support better digestion and more stable energy levels without triggering a blood sugar crash. Do you eat bananas every day? Comment yes or no below. Fruit number 3. Pineapple. Pineapple is often praised for its bright flavor and high vitamin C content, and yes, it does offer some digestive benefits thanks to an enzyme called bromelain. But for seniors, especially those over 60, pineapple can be a hidden source of trouble when it comes to leg strength, muscle balance, and even medication safety. Let's start with the sugar content. Pineapple ranks high on the glycemic index, which means it raises blood sugar quickly after eating. A single cup of chopped pineapple contains 16 grams of sugar, about the same as a full-size candy bar. This fast sugar spike, especially in older adults with slowed digestion or compromised insulin sensitivity, can drain muscle energy and contribute to fatigue, especially in the legs. Seniors may not realize that the very fruit they're enjoying to stay healthy is causing energy crashes and muscle exhaustion hours later. Now let's talk about bromelain, the digestive enzyme found in pineapple. While it's marketed as anti-inflammatory, bromelain can also interact with certain blood pressure and blood-thinning medications like aspirin, warfarin, Coumadin, and Plavix. As I encountered designations and diagnoses, I have to say for me, I find that right now I'm taking only acetate and I notice a difference. For seniors on these common prescriptions, consuming pineapple in large quantities can thin the blood too much, increasing the risk of bruising, dizziness, and yes, cramping or leg weakness, particularly after standing or walking for extended periods. Another issue, acidity. Pineapple is one of the more acidic fruits, and for seniors with acid reflux, GERD, or sensitive stomachs, it can lead to digestive upset, inflammation, or reduced nutrient absorption. When your gut struggles to absorb nutrients like magnesium and calcium, your muscles don't get the fuel they need to stay strong. This can cause slower muscle recovery, nighttime leg cramps, or even spasms that affect balance and coordination. Plus, many seniors eat pineapple in canned or packaged form, often soaked in syrup. These versions contain even more sugar and artificial preservatives, turning an already risky fruit into a blood sugar bomb. Even fresh pineapple, if overripe or consumed in large amounts, can act like a sweet treat instead of a health food. If you enjoy pineapple, the key is moderation. Stick to small portions, no more than half a cup, and pair it with a protein or healthy fat, like a handful of walnuts or a few slices of turkey breast. This helps slow down sugar absorption and prevents energy crashes that weaken your legs. And as always, check with your doctor if you're on blood thinners or blood pressure meds, especially if you're noticing bruises, lightheadedness, or sudden muscle soreness. Fruit number 4, watermelon. Few things say refreshing like a slice of cold watermelon on a warm day, and while it's hydrating and delicious, watermelon may not be doing your leg strength any favors, especially if you're over 60 and eating it regularly without realizing the hidden effects. First, let's look at what watermelon is made of. Over 92% water and natural sugars. While hydration is essential, this fruit's high sugar-to-fiber ratio can wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels, which directly influences muscle energy and stability in seniors. A typical serving, just 2 cups of diced watermelon, contains nearly 20 grams of sugar, but barely 1 gram of fiber. That means the sugar gets absorbed quickly, often resulting in a sharp energy spike followed by a sluggish crash, the kind that makes your legs feel heavy or tired without warning. And here's something many seniors don't realize. Watermelon has a high glycemic load, meaning it affects your blood sugar more significantly than many other fruits, even more than grapes or oranges. For seniors with pre-diabetes, diabetes, or metabolic concerns, this can mean more frequent muscle fatigue, stiffness, or even nighttime leg cramps. Now, what does this mean for your legs? Muscles, especially in the lower body, depend on a steady stream of glucose and nutrients for energy and recovery. When blood sugar swings up and down rapidly, it prevents your muscles from getting the consistent fuel they need. This leads to more soreness after short walks, slower healing from minor sprains, and even poor posture due to weakness in the thigh and calf muscles. But the issues don't stop at sugar. Watermelon also contains citrulline, an amino acid that, while generally helpful in improving circulation, can cause trouble in large quantities. For some seniors, too much citrulline can lower blood pressure too far, especially if combined with blood pressure medications. This drop in pressure can lead to dizziness, lightheadedness, or muscle shakiness, particularly in the legs after standing up too quickly or walking long distances. Another concern? Bloating and water retention. Ironically, eating too much of this water-packed fruit can lead to electrolyte imbalance, especially in seniors who sweat more during warmer months or take diuretics. Low sodium or potassium levels can weaken leg muscles, make stairs feel like a mountain, and increase your risk of slipping or falling, something no one wants to experience. If you love watermelon, enjoy it occasionally and in smaller portions, ideally paired with a handful of pumpkin seeds or cottage cheese to help balance out the sugar. And skip the seedless or pre-cut varieties sold in plastic containers. These often have reduced nutrient value and spoil faster, creating added stress on your gut. Fruit number 5, cherries, especially canned or dried. Cherries might look small and innocent, but they pack a serious sugar punch, especially when they're canned, jarred, or dried. While fresh cherries, in moderation, can offer some antioxidant benefits, seniors need to be especially careful about how and how often they're consuming them. That's because certain types of cherries could be slowly contributing to leg fatigue, inflammation, and muscle imbalance without you even realizing it. Let's start with dried cherries. A single quarter-cup serving of dried cherries can contain up to 25 grams of sugar. That's more than a glazed donut. Unlike fresh cherries, dried ones are concentrated in natural sugars and often coated in added syrups or preservatives. And because they're small and easy to snack on, it's easy to consume double or even triple a serving in one sitting, causing a blood sugar spike that disrupts muscle energy and leads to post-snack sluggishness, especially in the legs. Even canned cherries, especially those stored in heavy syrup, are loaded with added sugars and sodium. This combination not only causes fluid retention and bloating, but can also swell the muscles and joints, making your legs feel tight or puffy. Seniors who already experience swollen ankles or varicose veins might find these symptoms worsen after consuming preserved fruits like cherries. And when your legs are already inflamed or under pressure, it's much harder to maintain strength, balance, and stability throughout the day. Now let's look at fresh cherries. Yes, they're better than dried or canned, but even fresh cherries are high in fructose, a sugar that's processed differently by the liver. Seniors with fatty liver, insulin resistance, or sluggish digestion may have difficulty breaking down high fructose fruits, leading to energy crashes that affect muscle coordination and endurance. If you're finding that your legs feel shaky after a walk or that you tire quickly going upstairs, high sugar fruits like cherries may be playing a role. Another hidden concern with cherries is their effect on inflammation. While they contain antioxidants like anthocyanins, the sugar content, especially in processed forms, can override those benefits in older adults. Excess sugar contributes to systemic inflammation, and one of the first places this shows up is in the legs and feet in the form of soreness, stiffness, or reduced range of motion. If you enjoy cherries, stick with fresh, dark varieties and limit your intake to a small handful, about 8 to 10 cherries at a time. Avoid dried and canned versions entirely, or only consume them as an occasional treat. Were you surprised by this one? Drop a emoji if you didn't expect it. Fruit number 6, mango. Mangoes are often called the king of fruits, sweet, juicy, tropical, and loaded with vitamins. But if you're over 60, indulging in mangoes too often might be weakening your legs and draining your muscle strength, all without you even noticing. Let's begin with sugar. Mangoes are one of the highest sugar tropical fruits, with just one medium mango containing around 45 grams of sugar. That's more than a slice of chocolate cake. This isn't just about calories. It's about how that sugar hits your bloodstream, especially in older adults whose insulin function may be slowing down. When your body is hit with a large load of sugar at once, your muscles, especially in your legs and thighs, can experience a temporary drop in energy output, which leads to weakness, slower walking speed, and more fatigue after movement. But it's not just about the sugar. Mangoes have a very low fiber-to-sugar ratio, meaning there's little to slow down the sugar absorption. For seniors who already struggle with prediabetes or low muscle endurance, eating mangoes frequently can cause glycemic roller coasters, those sudden highs and lows in blood sugar that leave your legs feeling like jelly. Another hidden challenge? Digestion and gut fermentation. Mangoes are high in fructose and fermentable carbohydrates, known as FODMAPs. Seniors who deal with bloating, gas, or irritable bowel symptoms may find that mangoes worsen these issues. But more importantly, Poor digestion often leads to malabsorption of vital nutrients like magnesium and potassium, both of which are essential for muscle strength, flexibility, and nerve health. Without enough of these nutrients, you're more likely to suffer from leg cramps, tremors, or weakness, especially at night or after extended periods of standing. And here's a surprising fact. Eating too much mango may also contribute to fat accumulation in the legs, particularly around the thighs. The reason? Consistently high sugar intake, even from fruits, triggers insulin spikes, which in turn encourage fat storage rather than muscle retention. Over time, this can reduce muscle-to-fat ratio, making you feel less stable, less mobile, and more at risk of falls and balance issues. Now, let's talk about how mangoes are consumed. Most people eat them alone, without protein or healthy fat to slow sugar absorption. For seniors, this is a major mistake. Without pairing them with stabilizing nutrients, that sugar floods the system, leaving the legs feeling weaker than before the snack even began. If you do enjoy mangoes, treat them like a dessert, not a health food. Stick to a small slice and always pair with a few almonds, a boiled egg, or a spoon of Greek yogurt to buffer the sugar impact. Fruit number 7. Fruit juices. Yes, even 100% natural ones. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. Even the healthy, 100% pure fruit juices lining your grocery store shelves can quietly be draining your leg strength and setting you up for fatigue, falls, and balance problems, especially if you're over 60. Why? Because fruit juice is essentially liquid sugar, stripped of fiber, super concentrated, and absorbed rapidly. Just one 8-ounce glass of orange juice can contain over 22 grams of sugar, nearly as much as a can of soda. And juices like apple, grape, or even pomegranate often have even more sugar. What they lack is fiber, the key element that slows sugar absorption and helps stabilize energy. Without fiber, all that sugar floods your bloodstream in minutes, leading to blood sugar spikes and crashes, a disaster for muscle endurance. When this happens, your leg muscles, which are the largest and most active in your body, are the first to feel the effects. You may notice that after your morning juice, your legs feel shaky, weak, or tired. Not exactly the strong start to the day you were hoping for. This isn't just about energy. Over time, those sugar spikes promote systemic inflammation, the kind that builds slowly in joints and muscles, leading to soreness in your knees, stiffness in your calves, and slower recovery after even simple movement like walking or stretching. And it doesn't end there. Fruit juices often cause a spike in insulin, the hormone responsible for managing sugar in your bloodstream. For seniors, frequent insulin spikes can lead to muscle breakdown, especially if you're not balancing that sugar with enough protein. This muscle loss is especially serious in the legs and hips, which are your mobility muscles, and once they weaken, your risk of falls, fractures, and immobility rises steeply. Here's another lesser-known concern. Many juices, even those labeled natural, are pasteurized, meaning they're heated to high temperatures which destroy some of the nutrients like vitamin C and enzymes your muscles actually need. So even if you think you're giving your body something good, the truth is you're mostly getting empty sugar and water, minus the nutritional benefit of the whole fruit. And don't forget the added ingredients. Even natural juices often sneak in preservatives, natural flavors, and acidity regulators that can upset your stomach, cause water retention, or lead to bloating, all of which make your legs feel heavier and less mobile. If you still enjoy juice, consider diluting it with water, or better yet, make a blended smoothie with the whole fruit, including the fiber, and always pair it with a protein source like Greek yogurt or a boiled egg to help balance your blood sugar. Fruit is always healthy, right? Not exactly. Let's bust this myth wide open. If you're like most seniors, you grew up believing that eating fruit was one of the healthiest habits around. And in many ways, that's true. Fruits are rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and hydration. But here's the truth almost no one talks about. Portion size, ripeness, and sugar content can make even healthy fruits harmful for your muscles, especially as you age. Let's start with portion size, something many seniors overlook. Back in the day, a typical apple was the size of a baseball. Today, apples are often twice the size, which means twice the sugar, twice the calories, and none of the extra fiber. A small banana decades ago would fit in the palm of your hand. Now, they're longer, thicker, and packed with more sugar than your body can comfortably process in one sitting, especially if you're less active or on certain medications that affect insulin sensitivity. Why does that matter? Because your body's ability to metabolize sugars and convert them into usable energy naturally declines with age, particularly those in your legs. Rely on stable blood sugar to maintain strength and responsiveness. When you overload your system with fruit sugars, it can lead to what's called glucose toxicity in the muscles, resulting in sluggishness, cramps, or even progressive muscle loss over time. Now let's talk ripeness. The riper a fruit, the higher its sugar content. That soft banana, juicy mango, or squishy pear might seem more flavorful, but that flavor comes from increased natural sugar. Ripe fruits are also higher on the glycemic index, meaning they spike your blood sugar faster. This matters because repeated blood sugar spikes, even from fruit, can lead to insulin resistance, which weakens muscle fibers by interfering with their ability to absorb glucose effectively. And here's a myth that needs to go: natural sugar is still sugar. Many seniors believe that because the sugar in fruit isn't refined, it's automatically safe, but your muscles don't distinguish between sugar from candy and sugar from overripe pineapple. If you're consuming it in large portions too often or without balancing it with fiber or protein, it still gets stored as fat or burns through your energy reserves too quickly, leading to fatigue and reduced leg function. Another important factor: medication interactions. Some fruits, like grapefruit, can interfere with heart and cholesterol medications. Others, like bananas or oranges, can affect potassium balance, especially in seniors with kidney or blood pressure issues. And when potassium is out of balance, muscle cramps, leg stiffness, and poor mobility often follow. Even juicing healthy fruits at home can be problematic. While it feels like a nutritious habit, juicing removes the fiber, concentrates the sugar, and gives your body a fast hit of glucose that muscles may not handle well, especially without enough physical activity to use that energy. So what can you do instead? Stick to whole fruits, not juices, dried versions, or canned ones with added syrup. Limit yourself to 1-2 servings per day, not with every meal or as a mindless snack. Pair fruit with a source of protein or healthy fat, like nuts, yogurt, or eggs. Choose low-sugar, high-fiber fruits, like berries, apples with skin, or kiwi. Avoid eating fruit alone in the morning or before bed when blood sugar regulation is more fragile. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel extra tired after eating a fruit-heavy meal, or your legs cramp during walks, it could be a subtle sign that something in your diet, yes, even the healthy stuff, is silently working against you. We've covered a lot today, but it's time for you to take action and make a positive change for your health. If you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button so we know we're on the right track, and share this video with a loved one who's over 60, whether it's a parent, a friend, or someone you care about who could benefit from these tips. We're all in this together, and the more people we can help stay strong, balanced, and independent, the better. And remember, staying on top of your health after 60 doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Subscribe now and join the Healthy Wise Living family, where we deliver easy-to-follow, evidence-based health tips every single week to help you live your best, most vibrant life. Whether it's maintaining your leg strength, finding better food options, or learning simple lifestyle hacks, we're here to support you in staying active, strong, and independent. And if you ever have questions or want to know more about a particular health topic, drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Your feedback and thoughts make this channel better for everyone in the Healthy Wise Living community. Thank you for watching, and remember, your health is your greatest wealth. We'll see you in the next video with more tips to help you live smarter and healthier. Stay strong and take care.